Game controllers. I got a lot of controllers floating around here. No, like a lot of controllers. Before I came over to the PC, I was a console guy, obviously. But even after coming over to the PC, I still have my consoles. Not only are they pieces of gaming history, but I still use them whenever I want to play something in the living room and just get tired of being in my office, or if I'm just feeling nostalgic and want to play some of the old retro stuff without an emulator. Point is, I got a lot of consoles hanging around here at my disposal. I have an SNES, N64, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, 4, Xbox 360, Xbox One, Wii, Wii U, and 2 Switches. So, of course, I've got controllers for all of them. But I also have controllers that I use with my PC. Because, let's be honest, some games just have awful PC controls. And for a while, I've used this Xbox controller with the fucking chonky adapter. Then I switched over to the DualShock 4 because I got annoyed at the adapter sticking out of the back of my computer like a fucking tumor. Then I grabbed up a bit of cash and I got me a DualSense to try it out. You know, the PlayStation 5 controller. It's all right. You know, feels like a controller. Fucking crazy. But that's not all. Also got N64 and GameCube controllers with USB to use with my emulators. Fucking point is, I've got a lot of time with controllers. I have a lot of controllers. And the only reason why they all still work is because I can take them apart, take care of whatever's going on, and put them back together. But you know, after a while, I got to thinking, like, I like having a good, reliable controller here for the games that have shit PC controls. The problem, all of the reliable controllers are first party from the consoles. Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo. Like, I haven't heard of any third-party company that made decent controllers. The only company that I knew of that made a PC controller was Logitech. You know, the company that makes all of this stuff, and some of it is actually kind of decent. The same company that made the keyboard and mouse that I use daily and are really good. So, what's the controller that they made? Fucking this thing. The F310. Great name. They made the F310, which is the wired version, and the F710, which is the wireless version. And these are the only colors that they come in. And yes, they are about as outdated as they look. Fucking Logitech. And they haven't updated this controller in over 10 years. They released this thing in like 2010 or 2011. And outside of that, the only third-party controllers that I knew of were cheap knockoff crap that is really cheap. And I was like, this is fucking weird. This feels like an obvious market to capitalize on, and aside from all the bootleg shit, almost no one is moving in on this. So my only options are the fucking console companies. And that's insane. Like, there's no fucking way that fucking Logitech is the only reputable company with a third-party PC gaming controller. Surely there has to be someone. Enter 8BitDo. This is the Pro 2. You can connect it with a cable, but it's also wireless with Bluetooth. It's Bluetooth only. Well, this model is Bluetooth only. There's no dongle. And it's actually really decent. I was expecting horrible latency because, you know, Bluetooth and third party. But no, it's great. But hold on, it gets better. This model has a little switch on the back. So this works with Switch, Apple devices, Android devices, and Windows. So this one controller works on my Windows environment, my Linux environment using the Android setting, my Mac, and my Switch. And it has these paddle buttons built in. But that's not all. What do you think the charging port is? I was expecting something like micro USB or even worse, mini USB, as if it's like still 2013 or some shit. And there's a screw. What's in you? Show me your secrets. Get open. Ooh. It's a lithium battery. Are you still good? I don't have any fingernails. I bite my fingernails. Don't fucking do that. It's a horrible habit. Get out of the fucking thing. Come here. Are you still good? Yeah, you're still good. That means you can charge. Goddamn. I thought you were dead for sure. Holy shit, it still worked. But anyway, yeah, I was expecting micro USB or some shit because my expectations were so low being used to third party, meaning bootleg crap. But no, USB-C. But it's not even over. It also has an easily accessible, removable battery. Oh, for fuck's sake, I still don't have fingernails. Get out. There we go. Yeah. I don't think this is lithium. It looks more like just two rechargeable AA batteries and a neat little enclosure here. No contacts. Hang on. Hang on. Let's see. Positive and negative. Holy shit. That's awesome. So, not only do they have their own proprietary battery pack, but you can just use standard AA batteries if this fails and you don't want to get another one. 8BitDo, you guys are insane. But yeah, if there's ever an issue and the battery fails, there's no hassle with getting to it. And maybe the most important thing of all, it doesn't feel cheap. It actually feels comparable to these first-party controllers. I love this thing. I like it so much, I got a second one. Which begs the question, how much are they? $50. If you want a fancy case, it's $60. Still cheaper than the fucking DualSense at $75 fucking dollars. Fuck me, like, this is a good controller, but it ain't that good. But if you like the Xbox aesthetic, you can pick one up for $45. The absolute best part about this brand, you don't have to go with this one if you don't want to. Maybe you don't like the idea of Bluetooth being the only way to connect wirelessly. Well, have no fear. 8-Bit has you covered. The cheapest one they got, coming in at $25, is the 2C model that connects wirelessly via a dongle. And it does have Bluetooth, but it says on here that it only does it for Android. I don't have one, I can't verify that. Downside, comes in these pastel colors, which I'm not a huge fan of. But hey, if I've shown anything, it's that this company has options. And if you're willing to spend more, you get the 8BitDo Ultimate. That, as you can probably tell by the name, is the full package. You get a neat little dock for it that makes it look nice and charges it, and also hides a dongle if you don't want to use Bluetooth. But it also has Bluetooth. If you're into the whole Genshin Impact thing, they also have an officially licensed Genshin Impact one. And it's still cheaper than a fucking DualSense. You can even get one that looks like a classic SNES controller. And all of these are USB-C. And it looks like these are on sale at the moment. Bowie, why are you talking about this? Well, as it happens, this one is having a pretty common issue that you'll get with some controllers. One of the buttons is getting sticky, specifically the D-pad. It's a pretty simple fix, just take it apart, clean it, put it back together. Easy day. Y'all wanted to see my other hobbies, so let's fucking tear into this. I haven't taken one of these apart before. Ordinarily, for things I haven't disassembled before, I'd have an iFixit guide open for reference. iFixit is amazing, by the way. But controllers tend to be pretty easy, so shouldn't have too much trouble here. Let's see. What am I working with? That's a 6 point, so that would mean you're a Torx. But are you a Torx 5? Get in. Nope. All right. So I can probably put this away, because if a 5 is too small, that means you're not going to be any smaller. So I can put this away. Old reliable. All right, I know that manufacturers like to hide the screws behind the sticker, so I'll just take you out. I'm not really concerned with keeping the sticker. Yep, there they are. Are you still a Torx? Yep. Alright, I don't see any more screws, so I should be free to start prying this open. I'm kind of glad I'm doing this because it gives me a chance to talk about these controllers, and I don't know how many people even know that these exist. The whole point in even talking about it at all is to show that you do have options. Don't ever let any company ever try to tell you that you don't. If you don't like something, you have options that aren't complete crap. And that's kind of something that I tend to stand by a lot. Well, with supporting indie developers, getting third-party options for things, using Linux, I'm just tired of companies trying to pull some shit over me as if I can't fucking go somewhere else. Probably the best example is all the bullshit that Adobe is doing with their software, and legit, I am so fucking glad I never got deep into their suite. I used it like once when I was still going to college. I took an animation course. That's how I know just how fucking difficult animation can actually be. The professor was one of the people that worked on the show Archer, by the way, Sam Ellis. Pretty funny guy. But yeah, that class, we all used IMAX and Adobe, and I fucking hated Adobe. I edit all of my videos in DaVinci Resolve, and I started making thumbnails in Photopea, which is literally Photoshop but free, and it's a browser thing. But you don't have to use those things either. There's plenty of options out there, like Filmora, Wondershare, Sony Vegas, HitFilm. I used all three of those, and they're pretty alright, gets the job done. Even the old Windows Movie Maker, the good one, if you can find it, that's perfectly competent too if you can get it running. And for thumbnails and shit, you got Krita, GIMP, and if you feel like dropping some money, you can get Affinity. And if you don't want either of those, DaVinci Resolve has perfectly acceptable image manipulation software built into the software. DaVinci Resolve is actually what I was using to make thumbnails before I started using Photopea. The point is, no matter what it is, you always have options. Don't ever let a company try to tell you that you don't. In some cases, it may mean that you'll have to kiss convenience goodbye, but you have options. It's like how I have a Kindle, right? And I have some ebooks, and Amazon just loves to try and tell me, whoa, Bowie, those books are only for your Kindle. You can't read these any other way. The fuck I can't? Here's all my Kindle books in a PDF format just waiting for the day that Amazon tries and tell me that I don't own these ebooks anymore, even though I fucking paid for them. Because there is no fucking way that I will trust Amazon as a company any further than I can throw a grand piano. Anyway, I'll experiment with this format a little bit. I typically work in silence. It helps me focus and not get distracted by things. And I personally think that watching stuff like this with some nice music in the background is really relaxing. If you guys want me to talk about stuff while I'm doing this, I'll see what I can do, but if you're alright with the quiet, then I'm just gonna shut the hell up for once. Alright, this one looks like it's gonna be difficult. I think there's some kind of mechanism with these, so I'm gonna hold these down. I'm gonna see if that helps. There we go. Okay. It looks like we got a ribbon cable here, so need to be careful. Where do you disconnect? there we go. And yep, it looks like there were some hooks here that hooked into here, and that was holding it in place. Not terrible, not a terrible design. I understand it. It's a little annoying, but I get it. All right, so I'm only after the D-pad, so I don't need to take the whole thing apart, thankfully. Oh, it just comes right out. That is pretty neat. Yep, yeah, that is very sticky. All right. Yep, there it is. That's why it's sticking. Cool. So all we need to do is just clean this a little bit off. Maybe. Yeah, there's a little bit in there. So we'll clean that off too. Cool. So I just need to, oh, this is last little bit here. Almost didn't notice you. All right. So we'll just wash this and where are you? This D-pad, and we'll put it back together and then we'll be done. So how exactly do you clean stuff like this? It's pretty easy. All you need is a bowl and some water with a little bit of dish soap in it. And then a small brush. And of course, something to dry everything off once you're done. Because you don't want this getting on this. That would be very bad. Alright, there are some places with this that I just can't get at with the towel, so I'm gonna bring out a little help. And yeah, I think that took care of the problem. And I should be good to put this back together, so let's go ahead and do that. And I can already tell this ribbon cable is going to be the biggest fucking problem. It might be easier to take it out of this one, put it in this one, and then try to get it into this one. Fucking got it. God damn. Fuck that cable. Alright, everything's clean, everything's back together, and the moment of truth, does it still work? Yep, works just fine. So yeah, controller's back together, works just fine, no more sticky, only sustained minor injuries, all in a day's work. Thanks for hanging out. Let me know what you guys think and I'll adjust accordingly. In the meantime, see you later.